Hi everyone, it's Connor here from Durham Hearing Specialists. I hope you're doing well and welcome to another video. I've got a new tool to show you here called an infant scoop. Now as you can see in the ear canal we've got some very thick sticky earwax, probably the worst consistency actually. So it's unyielding and doesn't respond very well to suction. Now normally, as you can see here, I tend to drown the ear in a lot of olive oil, and that usually does work. So it gives a nice moist surface for the suction probe to latch onto, it lubricates everything. But as you can see, there's a lot of hair obviously mixed in with the wax, which gives it a bit of strength, and it's just, not really happening here. Now there is a gap up at the top of the ear canal where we can insert a tool, a manual instrument. However, given the consistency of the wax and given how ungainly the suction is, I decided to go for an infant scoop, which is this tool right here. So it basically looks, for all intents and purposes, it is basically like a miniature ice cream scoop. But it's perfect for this particular job because the ear canal is fairly small, and so is the infant scoop. I'll show you how small it is at the end of the video, and I'll hold it up next to a ruler so you can see. But it's small enough such that I can get it in there, and it's not fenestrated, so it's not got a hole in the middle like a Jobson horn or a Formby scoop, anything like that. And a Jobson horn may work in these kind of cases, but just like a hook, just like anything, when you try and pull with the wax out with the instrument, when it's just a loop like that and it's got a hole in the middle, it often just kind of smushes through the wax, and it's very difficult. So I needed some kind of manual scooping tool, and this is the one that's going to do the best job, because it's obviously like a solid object. Now we do have to be slightly careful because this patient has a little osteoma on the right hand side, so it'll become more clear in a moment as I clear the wax, but on the right hand side of the frame there's like a little bump coming out of the ear canal wall. That's an osteoma, so it's like a little benign kind of bony growth, so it's not going to harm the patient in any way. But we certainly don't want to kind of bump into it or brush up against it. So it won't cause a huge amount of damage or bleeding, but it can be very painful to do that. So as you can see, the only downside to this, and this tool was made by a company called Bionix, so the same company that makes the articulating curette. So if you want to see that, I'll link it down in the description. But the only bother I have with it is right here. Can you see how much light is reflecting off of it? That's the only downside. That's actually really annoying. So a lot of the time when you see these tools, particularly small tools like ear procedure tools or ear surgery tools, apart from the sort of uncoated steel ones, tools like this are often black. So if they're made of metal, they often come with like a black matte coating, or the single plastic ones are made out of black plastic or dark brown plastic for this particular reason. So when you're looking down the ear with a microscope with a very powerful light or an endoscope, and the light source with these type of tools is very powerful. So they're made out of dark colored material so that you don't get this kind of glinting, glaring effect. So Bionix, if you're watching, probably not the best color to make this instrument in, but regardless, it is useful otherwise. So as you can see, I'm just kind of scooping all this stuff out. So I think it only takes me about four attempts to finally clean the ear out. So it is very quick. Again, I probably, assessing the case, I probably could have just waited for the olive oil to take effect and applied a little bit more and kept on trying. But again, I'm just able to complete the procedure a lot quicker with this tool. So as you can see, I'm just kind of using this scooping motion. Again, like ice cream, but it's a pretty gruesome food comparison there. So now that I've scooped it out, a little bit of faffing will ensue here as I'm actually trying to just pick it up so it doesn't fall on the patient's lap, which has happened before in another video. But there we go. So this is the final kind of piece here. Drag that away, and then we'll actually be able to have a good look at the eardrum and the little osteoma as well. And I'll explain what osteomas are in another video. Some people call them exostoses if they're in the ear. So it's usually as a response to exposure to cold water, repeated exposure to cold water. So there's the eardrum right there. lovely. And then the osteoma is this kind of mass on the right hand side deep in the ear canal. So right there, just to the right of the frame. So there we go. Patient was obviously very pleased. There's the wax. So it probably works out to about, maybe 2 centimeters, something like that all in, or just under an inch. And what I'll do is I'll pick up the infant scoop so you can get a comparison of size. So it's pretty good. I mean, it's not totally rigid, so it is slightly soft, and as you would expect by the name, I think it's most likely designed to be used on children. But even then, it is fairly large, for a child's ear. So using a suction with a fine end is a lot more appropriate for an infant. So there we go. The actual scooping part is probably a couple of millimeters. So fairly good. It's a fairly useful tool. So there we go. Hope you found that one interesting. Thank you very much for watching, liking and subscribing. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below and I will try my very best to get back to you, and I will see you on the next one.